Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. What a month. What a crazy 30 days. A lot to update everybody on this month. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So gross income for the month was $12,294. So a couple things happened this month. The first thing was I got a paycheck that had like a $1,500 bonus on it. The first paycheck in October. The second thing was that I made 3 paychecks in October. And then the third thing is I got a pay increase this month. So I was at 86,000, and then now I'm at 95,000 base salary. So plus bonuses. So usually bonuses are maybe 5%, maybe 6%. So somewhere in there. So I should be right at $100,000. 95,000 salary and maybe 6,000 in bonuses each year. So I think I'm finally across the 6-digit mark, that's great. So it's kind of a surprise bonus too. They did a cost of living wage adjustment for everybody, or at least everybody in my position. Yeah, so that was kind of cool to see, an unexpected surprise. But 1,800, sorry, I paid in taxes, and for the 401k, put almost 2,500 in there, a little over 500 in employee stock purchase plan, and then I took home 7,400. And then for my wife, she made the exact same amount that she did last month, so I won't really go over all that. I'm still maxing out her 403b and 457b. For my 401k, I'm very close. I think it's 19,500 is the max. So I just have 2,500 to go. So maybe if I, yeah, it'll probably be December before I actually get that fully maxed out. And then for my wife, she's already at $24,000 she's put in hers so far. So she's put more in her retirement accounts than she's taken home working 2 jobs, which is insane. Rental properties. Same lady paid a little bit late. I think it was like 10 days late. So again, she let me know. I think she just cut it close on the budget. And so she has to work sometimes for an extra week before she can bring that money home, and then she uses all that money to pay for her rent and then late fees as well. And she is a Section 8 tenant as well, so the government, or I don't know who, I'm assuming the federal government pays for about 80% of her rent, so maybe 85%. But so nevertheless, though, almost $2,400 in rent this month, no other income, and we did not quite squeak $20,000 in gross income. So 19,600, and then only 8,700 of that did we take home as take-home pay. So um, for the rest of the year, I guess a couple other things I should mention. In December here, I will probably do exactly what I did last month. I've had zero turnover now since, well, the one lady has lived there since December 2019, and then the other lady moved in September 2020, and so neither of them have ever left, and it's been almost 2 years. And so in December, what I did last year was I discounted each of their rent $300 for the month of December as like a Christmas deduction. So I do plan on doing that again this December. I think I'll just keep it the exact same amount, $300. So we'll probably be a little bit less towards December, but even with that, I should be at like 27,000 gross income from rental properties. So yeah, that's going to be coming in the next couple months, and then we'll see my salary increase here in November and December, which will be interesting. Going into our net worth here, so lots of stuff to update. I guess lots of stories to tell. So house number 4, house my wife and I are living in, no real changes with that. I'm pretty sure it's starting to get way undervalued again. Houses in the neighborhood are selling for 370, 375, somewhere in that range, and I've got this at 328. So at some point I will probably have to bump this up. I'm not quite sure when that will be, but we'll see. Same thing for house number 5 and house number 7. Both of these are pretty similar. House number 5 is a little bit bigger than house number 7, but they're probably selling for 175 to 180 each. So I'm a little bit undervalued on both of those as well. For house number 6, so this one's interesting. Last month I had the person, I got to keep their deposit, earnest money deposit, and then they backed out and did not buy the house. We got another offer on the house. We have it listed at 55,000, and then we got an offer for 43, I think it was, and then we countered back at like 54, like just basically indicating we're not really, going to lower it a whole lot. And then they came back at 48, and then we came back at 51. So we did go down a little bit, but still over the $50,000 mark that I had planned for in our tracking here. So I should have that sold. I think November 6th or November 5th is the closing date. So we'll have that one done. And the timing was absolutely perfect. So I've still been looking for rental properties. I have not been able to find anything that's even like a 12% cash on cash return. And while I chat, I'll let you look at my calculations. This is just an old picture from Google of a similar house, but here's cash on cash return. So I've been looking for rental properties that are 15% cash on cash returns. I can't find anything that's even a 12%. A lot of the houses are like they even lose money, which I guess in California is very normal. To be net cash flow negative, and then you just bank on appreciation. In my area, I mean, that's not the case. You should be able to get appreciation, and the tax benefits and principal pay down and cash flow. And so really you could probably buy a ton of houses, like maybe 20 to 25 houses a year at 10% cash on cash return. Maybe two or three houses a year at a 12% cash on cash return, and then zero to one house at 15% cash on cash return. So I just have not been able to find anything that's even remotely close to what I'm looking for. So the first two rentals, both were like 15 or 16% cash on cash returns. And I feel like that's the perfect amount to where you have a little bit of money, like maybe $300 to $400 in cash each, with each property coming into your checkings account, and you don't have to like support the houses with your personal checkings account. So they can kind of manage themselves as long as things aren't breaking like crazy, which I'll actually comment on that here in just a second. But um, so I was looking for rental properties, and then I mentioned a couple months ago that my wife and I kind of have a long-term goal to, find 5 or 10 acres to live on. And so my parents actually just moved maybe 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and they bought 68 acres out in the country where I live. And then this month, the property just to the south of them has come up for sale, and so it's 66 acres, listed at 400,000, and I think we're going to go for it. So right now we do not have the cash, so we'll need to put 20% down, which is like $80,000, and so since I only have 53,000 in checkings, the timing is going to be perfect. So I should close on house number 6 here, probably within, a week, about a week. And so um, I'm going to use that. Then that's all cash since I don't have any debt. I'll use that 51,000. I'll add it to this checkings account here, so I'll be at 104,000, and then I'll probably put $80,000 down on the 66 acre property. And so, yeah, that's kind of the game plan. So hopefully, of course, I'll lowball it a little bit. In my area, I don't know how many people really. I don't live in a huge like metropolitan area with 500,000 people. Not even 100,000 people live in my area, so it's really I live in like a small subsection of a bigger city too. And the small subsection, like where this property's for sale, maybe has maybe 7,000 or 8,000 people would be my guess. So not very many. And so I feel like not very many people would really want to buy 66 acres, and it's mostly trees as well. Like 60, probably 63 acres of just trees. So yeah, so I'll probably start at like 350,000 and then just start working my way up from there. So yeah, I'll wait about 7 days. I'll get house number 6 closed on, and then add that to my cash, and then I'll be able to put the down payment on the 66 acres there. So it's not really, this is more for like a personal goal, I would say, versus it's not a really a business endeavor. It's not going to be really like a rental property, that generates cash flow every month. This has kind of been just something, my wife and I don't really want to live in a neighborhood for our entire life. Maybe we should wait a little bit longer. But if a property like this comes up for sale, it borders my parents' property too. So they'll have 68 acres. If we purchase this, we'll have 66 acres. So between the two of us, we'd have like 134 acres. And it borders each other probably like 1,500 feet, I would say, has bordering property. So it's kind of like you get access. It's like a buy one, get one free. Um, so yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'm trying not to get my hopes up or anything, but it's definitely not a business adventure here. And maybe I should just be using this money to buy out an apartment complex or something. But I can't find any houses that meet that my purchase criteria. So I guess worst case scenario too, I can always cash out some money from M1 Finance. I'm trying to prevent that because my portfolio is up over the past year, maybe 15 or 20%. So nothing crazy. It's all value stocks that generate dividends. And so if I sell the stocks in M1 Finance, I'm going to have capital gains, and so I'll have to pay capital gains taxes on that. So this kind of a last scenario, I would say, is sell M1 Finance. But if we have to, that'll be that's what we'll do. Okay, so vehicles here, no changes in vehicles for M1 Finance. The whole stock market was absolutely skyrocketing again this month, which is funny because I said last month that it was, falling down and it probably would go up. This month it did go up, and so I didn't sell anything. I didn't do anything last month. I just held all the positions I normally have. So M1 Finance went up 6,000, HSA went up 2,400, and then my 401k went up $12,000 this month. Employee stock purchase plan is up to 30,000. This is another note too. So employee stock purchase plan, I feel like my company stock is it's run its course. We just released quarterly earnings report. Quarterly earnings was fantastic, selling COVID vaccines to all the big players out there. So I feel like COVID is simmering down a little bit, and I saw Ebola and I saw swine flu, and so I don't feel like we're going to really generate as much revenue going forward as what we are right now. But the stock market has priced in that we're going to just keep, producing, having 25% revenue growth every single year, which I know is definitely not the case. So I will probably hold a little bit and probably start to cash out of some of this employee stock purchase plan. Yeah, and see what happens here. So that's kind of the game plan. My wife's 403b is up about $6,000. So overall, about $28,000 in investments have went up this month. For debts, made the minimum payments here. Nothing too crazy. Paid off another $700 or $800. Checkings account went up a little bit this month, about $1,300. Again, nothing crazy there. And then for the rental checkings, I said I would come back to this, but I should have probably commented more on this. It doesn't. I'm not one that really gets stressed out very easily. So the rental properties, so it's just the two houses, house number 5 and house number 7. And so I've never really mentioned like how maintenance is or anything like that. I've talked about putting the new roof on the house, but usually every month I'll get one or two phone calls. I would say, hey, the toilet's running, or hey, the kitchen sink is stopped up, or we're having issues with the air conditioner. And um, I don't want to sugarcoat what having rental properties is. It's not like you just buy the house and then free money comes in forever and you don't ever have to lift a finger after that. Um, so it's not definitely not the case. Some things like when the kitchen sink was stopped up, I went over there, I took the drains apart, I unclogged it all, hooked it back up together. It didn't cost me anything. Sometimes the toilets, like if the toilet stops working, I will always go to the local hardware store and buy a new toilet. And then sometimes, depending how much time that I have, I will install the toilet myself. If I don't really want to mess with it, I'll call a plumber and say, hey, I've got the toilet sitting in the garage. Can you install it? It'll be $100, $150, and I'm happy to pay that. But that's just it's part of the part of the game. I would say is like you can't get stressed out when the tenants call and say that the toilet's leaking. You have to go with the flow. You have your responsibilities that you have to hold up, and you can't just let the tenants live there with not a working toilet or air conditioner or furnace. I mean, you have to fix the stuff. So, um, yeah, just wanted to be transparent on, I get probably one or two phone calls, I would say a month. So it's not, they're not calling me every single night, but it's also not completely passive either. Sometimes too, I have to go over there and mow like house number 5. I've never had to mow house number 7 since the ladies moved in there, but house number 5 is about half an acre and it's a lot to push mow. I have a zero turn, like riding mower, which is not even included in the net worth here, and so I can knock it down in maybe 15, 20 minutes. So sometimes I'll go over there and I'll usually charge her like $25 or something if I do go over there and knock the grass down. But and that's in the lease agreement and everything too. But yeah, again, just for transparency, I do have to handle some phone calls. Sometimes at work I'll have to call the plumber and schedule a plumber to come out, and it's just part of it. So it doesn't ever stress me out really. It's just I know it comes with the territory. But rental checkings account, up about $1,500 this month, so pretty good month for rental checkings. So 67,000 in cash total. Looks like net worth at the end of October 2021 is $858,748, and I am getting ever so close to the $300,000 mark here. So I'm $289,000 ahead of my goal pace of becoming a millionaire by the age of 30. So we are about 27 and a half. So I've got 2.5 years to go. So sometime in 2024, in May 2024 is when I'll turn 30 years old. So I've got a little bit of time left, but it's getting closer. So, but we're also getting closer to that $1 million mark too. One last comment that just came to my mind here. So if we do purchase this property, that's usually the going rate in my area. If it's farmland, I've been kind of since I watch every single property that comes on like Zillow or Realtor or Redfin. Um, I feel like I know roughly how much land is in our area. If it's like commercial real estate, it might be I've seen some stuff for like $100,000 an acre. If it's out in the country, I've seen anywhere from like 4,000 to 5,000 at the low end, up to like 10,000. So it's a little bit hard. If like 10,000 an acre would be like a tillable land where you could plant corn and soybeans, which is in my area is a ton of we have farms everywhere. So it'd be like 10,000 an acre if it was tillable land, like ready to sow. If it's woods and forest, it'd probably be closer to like 4 or 5,000 an acre, maybe 6,000 an acre. But in my area too, in the county that I live in, uh, there's not very many properties that are 66 100 acres, all in one, and so they've pretty much developed most of the main area. And yeah, so I feel like it's a different kind of investment, I would say. So I would have some rental properties, I would have some, I'd have my primary residence, and yeah, and then have the land, have investments, stocks, and so yeah, it'd be a good, balancing aspect, I guess, to the portfolio. But okay, I feel like I've rambled on long enough here. So wrapping up October 2021, my net worth is 858,000. So I'm at about $142,000 away. And so I hope that the stock market does good over the next few months, just like it did this month. If it keeps going up and I keep having $30,000 net worth increases each month, it should only be, I mean, 4 months, 5 months away. And so yeah, we'll see. But again, I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm getting, hopefully promotions coming in the near future at work. Yeah, just a lot of stuff going on. So thank you guys for watching the video. I rambled a little bit long in this one, but I appreciate you hanging with me. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Last month's, next month's videos are on the screen now. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, things that you'd like to see in future videos, just comment them down below. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.